네, 저희 이번 시간에는 이분 역시 정말 귀한 분을 어렵게 모셨습니다. AI 코인들에 있어서 어떻게 보면 가장 주도주 역할을 했었던 월드코인 프로젝트의 담당자님을 직접 이곳 가운데 모셨는데요. 바로 함께 이야기를 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. Hello.
Hello.
So pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Could you briefly introduce yourself and about WorldCoin project to our viewers?
Sure, of course. So my name is Damien. I'm the Chief Privacy Officer at WorldCoin. Before this, I was at Twitter and a few other large tech companies. My job at WorldCoin is to effectively ensure we comply with global privacy laws. And that ensures also communicating with users and governments to make sure they understand what we're doing to keep data safe. In terms of the mission of WorldCoin, our goal is effectively to build a large identity network that is capable of proving humanness in an AI world.
All right. Then, is the personal data scanned by the WorldCoin orb is truly secure?
Short answer, yes.
Okay.
Long answer is we deploy a lot of privacy enhancing technologies to ensure that the data is secure and safe. So what we use is very state of the art. It's at the very complicated end of cryptographic technology, but what it does is it ensures that the data is anonymous and secure.
Okay. Then why is it important to develop a tool that distinguishes between AI and humans?
So when the company was founded, it was founded by 샘알트만 and Alex Blania, and what they believed was that in a world where AI was going to grow, we would need tools to be able to protect ourselves and also ensure humanity could manage in an AI world. And one of those tools was to be able to distinguish between a human and a bot. And so maybe a good example of this would be if we think about Twitter. We've all experienced on Twitter where we can see replies and they're bots, they're not real. In my time at Twitter, we used to suspend maybe over 2 million accounts a week as bots. And that was before AI was a very big thing. And if we think about a world where AI exists and it becomes very advanced, that becomes an even bigger challenge and it becomes even more important. And so part of our mission is to try to solve that problem by creating tools for people to be able to distinguish between humans and computers in an AI world.
Cool. But still, one potential hurdle for WorldCoin, I think, it still could be the data privacy issues. How is WorldCoin addressing these challenges?
It's a very important question. And so obviously what we do is very, very sophisticated, but it's also a very new technology. And whenever you have new technology, people have questions. And so part of what we want to do is make sure that the users, but also governments and regulators understand the technology. And so that's part of why I'm in Korea at the moment.
How long would it take to let everyone to understand the technology?
I think like any new technology, it takes some time, but the learning curve is sort of steep and then it flattens out. And so I think we're in that initial phase where people are learning what this is, how it works, but that's the goal.
Okay, cool. Then the AI sector was exceptionally strong in the cryptocurrency market early this year with WorldCoin leading the way, and especially for Korean investors, everyone was so interested in. But recently the price has been underperforming and we just want to know, like, what do you think the reason for it?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously I am not an economist or an investor, so I can't speak to what the exact things are. I think that our most important focus is that we believe that if we build a network that delivers value to humans, it will derive value for businesses, for governments, and from that value, people can extract all manner of things. And so our focus is building the best protocol that is useful to as many people in the world as possible.
All right. But still, one of the issues that made headlines this summer was the allegation of insider trading with the WorldCoin Foundation. Could you provide more insight into this?
Sure. So obviously, again, I can't comment on specific allegations. What I can say is that, like any large organization, we have robust compliance measures in place. So things like insider trading can't occur.
Okay.
So I think that's all we can say.
All right, okay. And many people attribute WorldCoin's popularity to Sam Altman, as you mentioned before. Recently, the tone price plummeted after the emergency arrest of the Telegram CEO, highlighting the risk of relying on a single prominent leader. Given this, how do you view the issues of key person risk?
It's a really good question. Obviously, the world and the things that we all use are typically delivered by visionaries like Sam and our CEO, Alex Blania. And without them, you know, the world would be a very different place. But it's also important to recognize that we build long-term value. And so part of what we do is ensuring that we don't have problems like the key person. I think there are lots of examples of this in history. Many people thought when Steve Jobs passed that Apple would be very different. Apple is still Apple today. So these visionaries are very important because they bring us to places we wouldn't go. But the goal is to build a sustainable long-term endeavor.
Okay. And this might be another difficult question for you, but given the high level of interest in WorldCoin among Korean investors, how do you view the project from an investment perspective?
Obviously, again, not an investor, not an economist, so I can't speculate. What I would say is that our most important objective is building the largest trusted network. And by doing that, it will generate value, it will generate business opportunities, and that's our focus.
Okay. Then where do you see WorldCoin project in next 5 to 10 years?
It's a great question. I hope every human on earth is verified.
Okay.
I hope.
With World ID?
Yeah, with World ID. And I hope that it becomes the standard to be able to log into services, to trust in digital communications, and then that companies will build on top of it. That's my hope.
Okay. Is there any other similar project that has same concept of WorldCoin?
There are other people that are working on this concept of proof of humanness, which is the problem that we are focused on. Our project and our effort is by far the largest and most successful, I think, to date. But we think it's a very important area for innovation.
Cool. Then finally, do you have any message for those who still have doubts about the WorldCoin project?
I think the most important thing I would say is, like any new technology, educate yourself. Don't just believe what you read in a headline. It's very technically complicated, but it is designed by the foundation to be private, secure, and anonymous. And so I think people need to understand that when they use our services, use the application, and visit the orb.
Cool. Before we wrap up, is there anything we haven't covered today that you feel like to mention about it?
No, I think really the most important thing is just probably for folks in Korea to understand the value that World ID brings. You know, we've recently done some surveys in Korea, and I think over 90% of Koreans believe that the need to identify humans was important, and also that that they believed that the issues of trust online were really important to solve. So more than 80% of Koreans welcome this idea. And so we think it's something really important in the Korean market.
Cool. And one really last question. You know, for ORB, we only can register through offline. Do you guys have any plan to do it online in the future?
You mean do the verification through the internet? Currently, I don't think so. And I think part of that is because there are security and privacy challenges. And this actually leads to why we have the orb. The orb is designed to keep things secure and private. Maybe as technology advances, it will be possible to do it in a different way. But today we believe this is the most secure and private way to do this.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
이유TV 구독을 하시면 흥미롭고 재미있는 미국 종목 정보를 빠르게 받아보실 수 있습니다. 미국 주식이든 국내 주식이든 변동엔 이유가 있습니다. 자연히 모든 투자에도 이유가 있어야 합니다. 이유TV가 서학개미들의 길잡이가 되어 그 이유를 함께 찾아가겠습니다. 매주 화요일부터 금요일 오전 8시 유튜브 라이브로 찾아가는 이유누나의 이유TV 많은 관심 부탁드립니다.